What impact would this have on your business if there was a ban on recruiting care workers from overseas?
I think it would have a significant impact. We've got 6 overseas workers in a team of 32 carers, and we are always advertising for domestic workforce, and we have very little response. You know, the UK people are showing us very clearly that it's not a career that they are choosing to go into. So being able to recruit people from overseas has been a lifeline for our business and for businesses like us.
So stopping overseas workers coming to work in care homes here, that's not suddenly going to mean that people in this country go, I tell you what, because they're not coming over, I will go and work in that sector. That's just not going to happen, is it, in reality, Vicky?
It's not going to happen, you know, and it's care homes and it's domiciliary care services like ours that we need high quality, committed carers, and we're just not finding. Of course, we've got a wonderful team of UK carers, you know, domestic carers, but when we've got vacancies on a regular basis, those adverts aren't being applied to by, you know, people who are local to us. You know, the government are talking about making this a sector of choice, but they're not paying the rates that would encourage people to choose care. I mean, so it's a very, very difficult situation.
As a provider of these services, is that the sticking point? You know, it seems like very hard, probably very rewarding work as well, but people can't earn the money they want to earn.
Well, you know, for us, we're primarily private provider. That doesn't necessarily mean that we're making huge amounts of profit. That's not the case at all. But we're able to pay our staff a good hourly rate, a good salary. Lots of providers who have local authority funded clients, they just cannot, because the rates that they're getting from the government are so low. There's no funding there to increase those rates, to entice people to come into the sector. And the whole narrative around it being a low-skilled job is just completely ridiculous, because it's, you know, all of these carers that are going out every day taking responsibility for people's lives, they just certainly don't fall into the low skill category.
What can we do to get people who born, live here, work here, to go into these kind of professions, more of them? What's holding it back? Perhaps it says something about our country at the moment.
Well, I think it's this sort of historical narrative that there has been around the care sector, around it being low skilled, low quality, you know, poor pay, all of those things. And there are many providers, care homes and domiciliary, who are trying to change that narrative and being successful in changing that narrative in their areas. But what happens is then all the local authority funders, or from, I think it's the local authority commission around 80% of the care in this country, and so those rates that the government are paying for that care are low, then consequently the salaries are low, the hourly rates are low. So all the work that we're doing over on one side of the sector to make it a more positive choice for careers, unfortunately the government are undoing on the other side.
Okay, and just a final thought, what's the sort of proportion of UK workers versus workers from overseas in your business?
We've got a team of 32 carers and we have 6 overseas workers, and they are all fabulous. You know, to hear the language used yesterday about them being strangers is really, really sad, because, you know, they come over, they're hugely committed, motivated, got wonderful relationships with their clients, they're welcomed into their homes. So, yeah, it's really sad to hear that.
If at some stage, you know, you'd have to replace them, good luck finding people from here to replace the work that they've given you.
Absolutely, and, you know, don't get me wrong, there are wonderful UK carers, and we've got lots of them here. But yeah, the replacement is going to be a challenge.
Vicky, thanks for helping us understand a little bit more about the impact of that policy might be. Vicky Haines there, Managing Director of Kingsway Care, who runs services in Brighton, Hove and Worthing.